Today we're going to be focusing on box and whisker plots. They're basically just a different way to show sets of data. So there is some mandatory information that is needed. Remember in the previous lesson how we figured out what the lower quartile and the upper quartiles were. Well, that is mandatory now. So the mandatory pieces that you need, you're going to have a set of data. You need to have the minimum value, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum value. These are mandatory. So the steps to make a box and whiskers plot. I want you to pause the video and just at least write these down for me right now. But the first step, you just need to draw a number line that includes the greatest and least values. So just draw a number line that is spaced evenly. Second thing, mark the minimum value, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum value on the number line. Third thing, and the last thing, you're going to draw the box and whiskers. In the example, I'm going to show you exactly how to draw the box and whiskers. Then you'll understand exactly why this is called a box and whiskers plot. So we have a set of data. We have the points 85, 78, 92, 94, 90, 85, 82, 93, 95, 98, 95, 86, and 96. Now remember what's the mandatory information. We need the minimum value, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and the max. Just to save some time, I already went through and solved all of this information, so I'm just going to write this out to save some time. So the minimum is 78, the lower quartile is 85, the median is 92.5, the upper quartile is 95, and the max is 98. So, that's the first step. Second step, mark every one of these points on this graph that's already drawn. So, let's see here. If we have the minimum of 78, looks like that'd probably be about right here. Lower quartile of 85, the median of 92.5, looks like that's right in the middle. Upper quartile of 95, max of 98. Good. Now we have 5 points on this plot. So this is our this is the minimum, the maximum, this is the median, lower quartile, and the upper quartile. Now, I want to draw a box to connect the upper and the lower quartile. So we're just going to draw a box that looks like this. Now, there's our box. Our whiskers, where do those come from? Now what we do is connect the minimum to the box and the maximum to the box. This is our box and whiskers plot. This just shows an example of a different way to show your data. Remember, this is 25% of the plot. This is also 25%. This is 25%. And this is 25%. Alright, so what I want you to do now is to pause the video, try to create your own box and whiskers graph or plot right now, and then unpause the video when you're ready to see what I have done. Okay, so we have the points 80, 92, 54, 64, 79, 76, 79, 91, 83, 83, 78, and 71. We need the minimum, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and the max. To save some time, I have found those already. They are 54, 73.5, 79 is the median, upper quartile is 83, and the max is 92. So we found those. Step 1, we have our line. Step 2, figure out what our points are, and then we are going to plot them on the graph, or on the plot line. So we have 54. It's probably about there. Lower quartile is 73.5, so it's probably about right in the middle. Median is 79. Upper quartile is 83. Max is 92. Now that we've done those, we need to draw our box and whiskers plot. Remember, create the box around the lower quartile and upper quartile. And then create our whiskers. Now this is our box and whiskers plot. So if we're given a box and whisker plot, and they're trying to ask us, what does this all mean? These two little pieces of information might help out. If you get a long whisker or a box, the data is more spread out. So like for example, we have, it looks like from like 6 to 20. Remember, each one of these parts are 25% of the data. So if there's a really long whisker or a really long part of the box, the data is more spread out. If there's a short whisker or a box, the data is closer together. So, for example, like right here, in this little box, this is 25% of the points. It looks like this would be to like 22. So 22% for 25% of the points, looks like they fall in between 20 and about 22 or 20, in between about 20 and 22. 25% are right in between here. So that means the data is closer together. Time for a quick review. Remember, all you got to do, I gave you the steps. All you have to do, follow the steps on how to graph your box and whisker plot. Remember, you need 5 important pieces of information: minimum value, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and the maximum value. Plot those on a line plot, and then draw your box and your whiskers. The box goes around the lower and upper quartiles, and the whiskers connect the box to the minimum value and the maximum value. Take your time with this. I'm sure y'all are going to do great. Let me know if you have any questions.